Okay, so welcome to another episode of Activate Your Soul Purpose podcast. At this time, I'm walking my dog. Like I said before in my previous video, I'm always doing something, right? Either I done just worked out, I walked, or I'm done for the day, but I have something to say, right? So here I am again. This time I'm outside walking, but I had something to say once again. I'm still in the midst of my creative urge, and this time I was just thinking about human design and our energy centers, right? So I'm a manifestor, so I definitely have a defined throat. And I was just thinking about consistency and stuff, and speaking, and being able to maintain that. And I know that because I have a defined throat, I have consistent energy in that area. And so I believe that is one of the reasons why I am able to come forth and speak. I'll see how this goes later on as I continue along my 100-day or my 100 video challenge. But I do believe that is something that will propel me and allow me to be able to move forward in that way. And that's because I have consistent energy in that center. So keep that in mind. Look at your chart, or if you need help with that, let me know with running your human design chart. But for those of us that have a defined throat, we have defined energy to be able to speak. That is a gift of ours, and that is something that we should utilize, and we can utilize consistently. Now, what's not consistent for me is that damn sacral, like I mentioned before. Sacral energy is that life force energy, that feeling like you're charged and ready to take on the day and work. Life force energy is the work energy. Now, I don't always feel like working every day, but I can speak, and so I believe that is a beneficial thing for me. And then as far as like being physically active, I am a manifestor. A lot of manifestors are non-sacral, and usually when it comes to working out and being a non-sacral, that means that they don't consistency as far as working out every day and having the energy to do that is not consistent. However, I am an active body. So if you look at the 4 variables, and at the bottom left corner, or the bottom left arrow, if you will, that is your environment, right? So your body, your literal body, is your environment. And if it's depending on if it's a left arrow or a right arrow, it'll tell you if you're an active person or more of a relaxed person. And for me, mine's is a left. So I am considered I don't think there's an actual classification, but I like to coin it as I'm an active manifestor. So even though I'm a non-sacral, and typically non-sacrals are people that are, not as active. They can't really, or they're not likely to like work out all the time and all that. I can literally, and it's correct for me, and I actually need it, my body calls for it to move, And even if you're a non-sacral, I still believe that there are ways that we can still be active. I'll speak about it a lot on my channel or on my podcast about doing things at different levels whenever you feel when you have the energy to do it, as far as your output and stuff like that. But for me, it is correct for me to move every day. So if I'm not strength training, you best believe I'm walking. At least I can keep doing that. Like, I love to walk. And so that is correct for me. So I don't know. I say all that to say because, it's really important to know your energetic makeup, because this will help you to be more strategic about how you use your energy, how you show up, and how you, how you use it. And so since I know that I have an active body and I have an active throat center, hey, I'm going, once again, these are strategies that I'm going to be using with my podcast. I'm going to, take y'all along with me on these walks and things like that, right? So just become more and more aware of who you are and what you bring to the table, so that you know how to play your cards and you know what value you bring to the situation, and you know how to make life work for you. You can work with the life. You know, have you ever heard of that saying, how you know, you can be a co-creator, right? How you gonna, you know, be a leader? I look at that as like a leadership role. You gotta be a intentional leader, and a leader that has awareness of what's going on and what's going on in their kingdom, what's going on with themselves. So I'm a firm believer and an advocate for self awareness, self development, and so these are the things that I preach about, you know, or share, or constantly talk. When I say preach, constantly talk about. That's what I'm about. And I want all of us to be proud of ourselves. I want all of us to accept ourselves for who we are and not wish for nothing. Shit, you are fucking great as you are. You just need to know how to tap into your shit, your powers, you know what I'm saying? And use that shit, you know, because I believe all of us, God gave us all gifts, all talents. It's not all the same. It's not, you know, we're all different. And that's what's so beautiful about everything, is that we're all different. We all have something to bring to the table, you know? I think about it like a puzzle piece. We ain't all the same fucking pieces. We all different, you know? And you can't have a complete puzzle if we're missing you. If we're missing your piece, you need to put your piece down so we can have a fucking whole puzzle, right? I need to put my piece down. You know, my piece gonna be different from yours, and one is not better than the other. I think I was talking to my mom one day. I think, she was saying, who's more important, the janitor or the CEO? And I said, she was thinking, her response was the janitor. You know, she goes for the underdog, and that's cool. But I said that it's neither. They're both important, because if you didn't have a janitor to clean your space, you know, you can't do business in the space because it's dirty, it's nasty, right? And there would not be no building to clean if you didn't have a business owner, somebody running the business. So one is not better than the other, even though society likes to tell us that, or to put us in competition with one another, or to put us in hierarchy or whatever. That is not the game. It's about how can we work together. It's about who am I and what do I bring. It's also about where do I want to fucking be, right? A janitor in our society is not looked at as a honorable role. It's looked at as like, who the fuck want to do that, right? But there are people who genuinely love to clean. They genuinely like to create. That's like a form of transformation. I love to clean. I love to organize, you know? So there's people out there that really do believe that that role has value, which I believe it does too. But if you feel like you don't need to be there, then, you know, that's your calling. That's you being aware of the fact that you're in the wrong position. So if you know where you need to be, you know, because you've taken the time for self-awareness, self-development, you've learned about, you know, your gifts, your talents, really know them. And you can contemplate or look back at what you've done in your life, and you see that, hey, I noticed that I do have this, and I do this, and I'm able to make these things happen. Tap into that shit and get to where you need to be. You unhappy because you're not where you need to be, right? I'm thinking about plants and flowers. That analogy about a plant being planted in the right place is going to have all the nutrients, all the things that they need to survive, and they're going to be vibrant. They're going to be excelling. But you put a plant that is in a wrong environment, you may not ever see the flowers. You might not, all you might see is just the plant just surviving. And it's probably got the potential to bloom beautifully. But because it's in the wrong environment, it's not getting everything that is required, all the nutrients required to grow and blossom. That's the same with us. If we keep marching along on the same path or road that doesn't allow us to grow and evolve, because we are creatures of evolution, and expression and creativity, we keep shortchanging ourselves and cutting off our life force or our creative energies and our powers and our talents, fucking gonna die. And I ain't about that life. I'm gonna get mine. I'm fucking living. You hear me? And I encourage you to do the same damn thing. All right? Live. Express yourself. And that's what this whole 100-day challenge is. It's like, we getting to the goal. We getting that shit. Okay? We living. We living. It's bigger than this. It's bigger than that. Tap the fuck in. Right? And I encourage you to learn about yourself. Right? So I'm creating tools and resources for people to be able to get help. I do have, whenever I have slots available for readings and things like that, come on. When I have slots available for readings and things like that, I always leave it in the description. So if you are interested and you see a slot, you see a slot available, then come on, show up. And if I don't, then just keep a lookout and get on my email list too. Get on my email list, because when the opportunities do arise, I will let y'all know. I will inform you, right? Us manifestors, we gotta make sure we informing y'all about what's going on. So I'll let you know. But I always have information available in my description about opportunities to work with me. But even if it's just for you listening, get this wisdom, get this encouragement, let this be a reminder for you to show up for yourself. Okay. And learn about your energy centers and what areas are consistent for you, because that is where you need to express yourself. That is where that is what you can rely on to be consistent in your life. Okay. So until the next time, y'all take care, keep activating your soul purpose, and keep up with your 100-day challenge, whatever that is, or whatever challenge you set for yourself, whatever goals you have. Stay on it, man. Like I said, you ain't got to worry about doing the big shit, even if it's just writing a fucking word down, a sentence on a paper. If you're trying to write a book or something, do you have a title? It all began. Whatever. Just start, okay? And trust me and believe me, you are going to continue, and you're going to grow, and you're going to grow from there. You're not going to always be a one-worder. You're not going to always walk into the gym and only stand there and go home. That is not, trust me, your ass wants some shit. You ain't going to do that. It might be one fucking time you do that. Next thing you know, your ass going to be in a class, or you're going to be back in the weight room or something. You're going to be good, man. Trust me. So you keep on walking. And until next time, I will see y'all, and have a great day. Peace.